So it's currently that time of year which places some fairly large constraints on us cyclists, from lack of traction,
Oh god!
freezing temperatures to limiting daylight hours. Winter can quickly put a stop to our cycling regimes. Many of us can only get the time to ride early morning or late evening, and don't want to splash out on expensive bike lights. In this video, I'll show you some of the cheap bike lights that I've used over this winter and whether they can perform well enough for off-road use. So first of all, we've got the SL100 from Decathlon. This is the smallest, lightest and cheapest light on the list, only costing £3. This is available as a front and back light and uses two non-rechargeable batteries. It's got two modes, continuous and flashing, with the battery lasting anywhere from 32 to 44 hours. Personally, I carry these lights in my bag on every ride, as their simple design allows you to quickly fit them when needed. While these lights are bright enough for others to see you, they're not really powerful enough to use for visibility on their own. That said, I was once caught out and forced to use these as my main light, and once my eyes had adjusted, I was actually able to get home safely. Overall, these are great, cheap and reliable backup lights, or lights for the road. Next, we have this light from Amazon, only costing £16. It's USB rechargeable and has 4 light modes, with one of those being a light adaptive setting, so the brightness adjusts depending on the ambient lighting conditions. This is really useful if your route has large variations in lighting conditions. Personally, I found the battery to last around 1.5 hours in the brightest setting. The beam is actually really wide and can provide enough brightness to see most obstacles. Being lightweight and USB rechargeable, this light is perfect for commuters and road riding. However, for trail riding, I think this light alone may not be quite enough to see obstacle height and depth. So this brings us on to the next light, which is made by Nestling. It's the largest and heaviest light here, again costs £16 and is also from Amazon. This light is constructed with a metal body, is fully USB rechargeable and has 3 different brightness modes. Similar to the previous light, I've found that it lasts around 1.5 hours in the various modes in the colder temperatures, but the brightest setting is really very good. So my only gripe with this light is how tight the beam is. This again may make it less suitable for trail riding if solely used on its own. So for me personally, I use all 3 of these lights for trail riding and commuting. I use the lighter rechargeable light on my helmet and then combine this with the Nestling light on my handlebars. However, with the more focused beam of the Nestling, it will probably make more sense to have these two switched the other way around. All of these lights are listed as somewhat weather resistant, but the SL100s would sometimes switch modes in the rain. I think at this price point you probably are better off not allowing these lights to get too wet if possible. So if you were to buy all 3 of these lights, it would cost you just under £40 and provide you with roughly 1.5 to 2 hours of riding time. Personally, this works really well for me. However, if you ride for any longer than this, you need to buy and carry another set of lights. So I used to run these eBay lights with interchangeable batteries, however I've since ditched them after hearing some horror stories about the batteries. That said, as a precaution, you should always supervise any of these lights when charging and possibly buy a fireproof bag to store them in. I think if you really get into nighttime trail riding and can afford the more expensive rechargeable lights, then you should look at those options for greater reliability, quality and time of use. But for beginners and people like me who don't want to spend too much on this type of thing, the setup I've got will work just fine. I'd just say that you have to take a little bit more caution at night, make sure you're not going faster than the stopping distance in front of you, and generally try and ride in places that you've already ridden during the day. So if I've missed anything in this video or you have any better suggestions for cheap lights, then please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and ride safe.